Greetings. This is my latest crafted MSP-X, and it's quite heavy. It's a big piece. If you can see it, yeah, it's bigger than my hand by holding it like this. There's two different kinds of tech in there. There's additional crystals and things inside, but very specific mix in here. And on the outside is a frequency tool. I guess a tensor wire, I would call it, that gives off a certain frequency. So if I connect the two different kinds of tech, we end up with a plug here for a 9-volt battery. I do not recommend you use a full-blown 9-volt battery or not for a very long time. They easily could heat up. When I initially started this project and was testing it, my 9-volt battery charged up to 12. It got very hot, and I realized this is not a good idea. I have to learn to balance it. So I've learned to balance the two technologies, and it's either going to stay at the charge of the battery or go up very slowly. There is a way where you can discharge your battery very fast if you bring any kind of metal close to the wire. So you want to keep this wrap in some kind of material. I'm, using on this particular one, I'm gonna use some pretty autumn material here and wrap it up. And then the battery, you wanna have the same situation where you keep it away. I got a little mesh, and I can put it inside it and just basically loop it around. I don't even need to worry about anything else as long as everything is hooked up together and doesn't touch. I've had the battery touch. It didn't seem to bother it, but I'd just rather not take a chance on this. So let me tell you a few of the do's and don'ts. So don't jerk on here, of course, because this is a very thin wire and it could break very, very easily. Do not use a 9-volt battery to leave it unplugged or unchecked for a very long time. I mean, if you want to have a big field for a short time, then yes, try it out, but keep the whole thing away from your body because, I mean, even though this is scalar energy, supposed to be good, healthy energy, well, it is. When the moment that you amplify it with a battery, it's questionable whether this is going to do you any good or not. So I just rather say don't keep it too close to your body when you have a strong battery. Save your old 9-volt batteries and just use them up to a 0.5 volt or even 0.1, which is 100 millivolts. It still amplifies the field, so you can go a long ways with this. If you use a battery at the beginning, just check and touch it to make sure it doesn't get hot. If it's hot, it's definitely too much voltage. And just keep it out of water, and when you're not using it, just unplug the battery. It still works like this without being plugged in. It's just the field is smaller. So I think I have covered most of these do's and don'ts. I can put information about the feedback, about what this has done for other people. I can tell you for myself, I noticed animals are attracted to me. Had a dog walk up at a gas station that I didn't know. Very, very big dog had escaped from the owner's car, I guess. And the owner was calling it back, but he ignored it. He came up to me, stood in front of me, and put his paws on my shoulders, and his head was higher than mine, but I could feel this love coming from it, and I'm like, oh man, I want to pet it. Before I had a chance to do so, the owner had jerked him back, and I was like, oh, okay. I also had butterflies landing on top of me, and it was just this awesome feeling. But then there's other reports, like a waitress told me that when she wears it, and it's repeatedly happened now, it's not just a single out thing. When people come in frustrated and angry, they live happy and give her better tips. I mean, just all kinds of situations like that. So it's a big blessing. Like I said, I'll try to put the links to the feedback in the description of this video. And I thank you for your attention. Have a blessed day.